Like it's way stronger than second pick because every time it forces a Lycan ban, and then it opens up for like they were banning Razor the whole time, and now they couldn't, and they gave Vici Razor because they don't want to give them Lycan. And the other thing that changed actually is just Cloud9 not wanting to give away the Doom. In the first game of the series they gave it, they lost, so now they're like, that was a mistake.
I think Cloud9 has to be happy. They get Shadow Shaman and Nature's Prophet. These two heroes can create a lot of space no matter which three heroes you play right now. I mean, they can still go for the Meepo if they feel so inclined, but they can go pretty much whatever, because if they don't have the team fight, they can always cut the split push. And Cloud9, they've proven that strategy to work many times.
Yeah, I mean, Seb talked a lot about the mind games in a draft in a BO3 series. We saw it with game 1 to game 2 especially, where there was just small little tweaks. This is, to me, is a big tweak. The one big thing would change, Vici Gaming, this is the first game they're on the Radiant side, so one of the teams kind of switched up their preference as Radiant Dire. It did mean Vici Gaming had to ban the Visage, because Cloud9 with second pick can pick Visage Drow in the first stage if they want to.
Exactly.
Vici Gaming didn't want to go against it, but as a result they were guaranteed either Razor or Doom because they had first pick on the Radiant side.
Yeah, now it's really up to them to see what they want to get. I mean, they have the Shadow Shaman, sure, and Nature's Prophet, but those heroes are not really good versus Razor in my opinion. They're single target heroes, and Razor does really well against that. He's also difficult to gank early on, and Nature's Prophet might be looking for ganks, so let's see. Right now they revealed nothing, obviously we're really early in the draft. It's actually very interesting that Vici Gaming plays on Radiant for once.
Yeah. I think it's going to signal that they're not going to go for one of these 5-man push shots. I think they're actually going to get Sylar a Morphling, some kind of a hard carry. Super on the Razor is just kind of a good kind of tanky hero to have in the front lines and give space for Sylar to do what he can do. So even like an Anti-Mage, not to say, I mean, I think it's too early in the draft to call an Anti-Mage, but Sylar to me is the only player who can still pull off the Anti-Mage.
He's the only one really in the tournament thus far that's been picking up in the group stages those kind of TI2 heroes, as you mentioned, the Morphling, the Anti-Mage, and he's played them amazing. Like, I think his Morphling stats are just like almost at like 4-0, 6 and 1 now.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The thing about these and going for a late game hero like Anti-Mage is that Cloud9 will be able to push fast and early. If Cloud9 executes well, and if you have a hero that doesn't really contribute to the early game, you run into the risk that 20-25 minutes into the game you run out of tier 2 towers, and when you are into that position, then suddenly farming is much harder, you lose map control. If you go super late game against a lineup that has the Shadow Shaman and Nature's Prophet, you really have to have 4 other heroes that can stop the push really effectively.
I want to try to explain the Prophet pick. I mean, obviously it's a good hero having with Rasta. Bone 7 plays it really well, but I think one approach Cloud9 might have is that any offlane can do well on the Radiant side because of just how it is. You can send a Clockwork, it's going to get a lot. You can send a Tidelander, and Prophet does well is effective on the offlane. We saw Funny getting completely shut down on Elder Titan on the Dire side. Prophet won't get shut down. He's going to do what Prophet does regardless if he's Radiant or Dire. So that might be Cloud9's reasoning. Because they look to put a lot of emphasis on their offlane, right? You see Pylai trying to head Ball 7, so that might be why they get Prophet that early.
That's why they even like sent Pylai to protect him in the offlane. They make Bone 7 is a key player for initiating. He's not that offlaner who gets as little farm as possible, just gets the levels, gets like a late Blink Dagger on a Centaur, whatever it may be, but he needs farm, he needs to have a high impact. Like the BKB last game on Clockwork was cool, so again, they'll make sure he can actually get something done with the Prophet.
And here's the Meepo ban.
Yeah. One could say that even Bone 7 might be the player of the tournament for Cloud9. No disrespect to anyone else, seeing Eternal Envy, they played amazingly. Pylai Dia now with the 2 supports have been great. But Bone 7 is the guy. You saw that in the previous game when they were pushing, he was just standing against 4 heroes in the fountain. Here I am. You shall not pass.
When he's comfortable and when he plays well, it's almost like he doesn't know he's in the international in terms of, like, we've seen him on the Batrider, you know, push for that last hit for the first blood when he had 6 stacks of sticky napalm. We see him on the Clockwork, you know, go for those plays, and this is, you know, what we've known him to be. Like, I always felt that Bone 7 and Sing Sing were very much kind of the 2 cores that you could always rely on, that would always play well no matter how stressful the game was for Cloud9, and he's definitely bringing it today and throughout the tournament. So the final bans for round 2 are over, and we have a Brewmaster for some team fights.
That's a really good pick. That Prophet is still available if they want to grab it. We've said how good it was versus Brewmaster, and obviously it's a hero Vici Gaming uses.
Hear me out. Earthshaker and Leech, 2 very defensive support. I mean, Leech, you want to stay in the lane, you want to get that sacrifice, you get the level. Earthshaker, yeah, you can roam, but you need something else, and Leech is not the best player for that. if I'm Cloud9, I'm looking at this and going to see, okay, these are probably going to be very static laning, maybe a 2-1-2.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Maybe get a jungler, maybe get something to punish the fact that they are being so...
Enchantress is insanely good for Cloud9 right now. That's a really good point. It's insanely good. They can destroy the lanes because Vici has nothing to counter initiate. They have the Shaker, but that's not going to be enough. If Cloud9 is looking to dive towers, it's going to be really hard for Vici to... I think Cloud9 is really, really happy with the way they're going right now.
Yeah, they've definitely gotten what they want. I think the Brewmaster it helps them actually break these towers too. Just having that threat of his initiation forces great against the Earthshaker. It's so hard to actually protect towers when there's a threat of a Brewmaster blink in. So
I think a lot of it will come down to what Vici will pick up as their hard carry for Sylar. I think that's the big pick.
One hero that wasn't banned here is the Pugna. It's the first time Vici can actually grab it if they want to.
I don't think they will, because they're on the Radiant side. Their push right now is so lacking. Like without the Shadow Shaman, without something else to go with the Pugna.
Yeah, that for sure. But I still think it's viable. I mean, it's really good versus both Prophet and Rasta, and the depth, like the Netherwatch is going to do work. Might not be the best pick. I agree. But
the thing is, if Vici Gaming goes Pugna and I'm Cloud9, I just split push because you have the capability to trade pretty much the same split.
Yeah, that's the greedy pick.
That's the greedy pick. Yeah.
Vici Gaming are going to just fight grid with grid. I think they pick up the hard. Well, I don't know if they're picking a hard carry now, but they're going to go Morphling, Anti-Mage, maybe Luna. I think Morphling or Anti-Mage is better, and then they're offlaner for RTK. I think they may just grab a Batrider here. I think Batrider, you need an initiation. Earthshaker's kind of your sit back counter initiate with Fissure. Razor isn't going in first. They're going to go Morphling. I think Cloud9 want to ban the Batrider though for RTK.
Yeah.
Cloud9's draft is amazing, to be honest. Like, it's going to be really hard for Vici Gaming to fight them unless the lane goes really wrong for actually Cloud9. But now Envy's hero, if it's not Brewmaster, will have to be something that counters the Morphling. It's all they need. They have the Hex from Rasta. Might not be enough, but if they have control of the Morphling in the fights, they might be looking really well.
You might even want, if you're Vici Gaming, to bring back something really old school in the Beastmaster in the offlane. I mean, again, you're playing Radiant, so you can actually get something out of it. You can stack the Ancients while at the same time getting something out of the jungle. And again, against the Enigma, you want all the possibilities to stop that black hole as possible. So
to me, Batrider is just kind of like a better version of a Beastmaster, though, assuming it's still in the pool.
The big problem for Vici Gaming right now is that they're going to be facing a lineup with many summons. The trees, the Eidolons, the Necro 3 probably from Prophet, and they have nothing to deal with that. They have no BKB hero. Razor is not going to clear Necro 3 with his BKB, I mean, not early on. And Morphling is not really good at doing that because he has low stats if he wants to go for the shotgun build. So they need something to actually clear summons, in my opinion, Vici Gaming.
Oh, and they're running out of time. They have only 4 seconds in reserve time.
And something to initiate.
That's a good ban.
Cloud9 need a disable.
I like the Weaver ban. Envy plays a lot. It's good at sieging towers and also just playing that Cloud9 split push style of play.
I wonder what Envy's going to play here. Maybe even Bonefletcher isn't. Maybe Bonefletcher isn't bad with the fights or Orchid versus the Morphling. The Kings would be really good for them, I think.
I mean, you can go really wild here. The thing is that you have to worry about is that if you get to late game, that Morphling is going to have so much armor and so much HP that you need a carry that can really, really fight that. You cannot go with something that just gets the job half done. On the other hand, you will have a lot of disable to work with it. So as long as you can get a high DPS, maybe a glass cannon, they can even decide and go for the Drow Ranger here.
I think Drow, like even something like an Ursa, if you want some actual damage output to like blow up a Morphling, like you're on dire side, you got the Roshan taking abilities, you don't...
I think Bonefletcher is really awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, Luna. It's going to be a
Luna.
Okay.
Not too hot, but at the same time,
you're going to get those towers.
Yes,
that's what's going to be important here.
They also want Envy on a hero he's comfortable with. At the end of the day, like this is elimination on the line. You don't want to go something too much of a fringe pick.
Yeah, I've been thinking Clinks with Orchid is a pick that we just haven't seen enough of, if at all, because just having that ability to kind of put a constant fear in your opponent when you farm lanes is huge. Because if people get too comfortable, especially teams like Vici Gaming, they can get into their rhythm. And it's hard to break them. So Clinks, can break them, but the last pick,
that's a core Venomancer.
Yeah, that's going to be Venom.
Okay.
That's very interesting.
I highly favor Cloud9.
Yeah, me too. I have the same.
Well, last game we favored Vici Gaming from the draft. So who knows why we're on the panel. So let's get into the game. It looks like the players are just picking. We can see Sing Sing picked up the Brute, Eternal Envy on his Luna. Most of the team of Vici are getting their heroes, so they're playing for their tournament life here. If you lose this, you're out of the international. Win this, you'll move on to the next round, one step closer to facing Evil Geniuses as our final game today, and potentially moving on to the grand final. Still possible for both teams. Let's find out who will take it as we send it to the commentators.
Thank you very much. We are here for our final deciding game, Cloud9 versus VG Gaming for the International 2014. I'm W1, joined by Lumi. And Lumi, how do you feel about the draft, man?
You know, I don't think the draft matters at all, considering what we just witnessed, but in a more serious note, it's a very interesting to see ROTK go back on the Venomancer. We've seen them do...
Die aside. Die aside.
They have the Ring of Basilius.
This is level 1.
Okay, so as they're watching this, and guys, shh.
It's a secret, all right?
Envy told me after they saw Vici Gaming eliminate Titan in Game 3, he said that was disgusting. If I have a chance, I'm gonna do the same to them.
Really?
That's what he told me. I was like, nah, you're not gonna do that.
Well, it looks like he's gonna try it, and who's gonna scout this out?
Gonna get scouted.
ROTK is gonna get scouted. Okay, so Roshan's halfway through. Does he go Plague Ward level 1? How does this work? Now, C9, they walk out. They have a good Gale out, and Sing Sing, very low on life. They're gonna kill him off past the field. They've got a Vici kill. Envy, he's in trouble. Waveform up. Envy, one more attack. He's gonna go down too. The Eidolons are still fighting this one out, however, but the Frost Blast really hurting hard on Pie Die. The conversion try to force it back to VG. Sylar waveforms up cooldown, and he's coming in. Pie locked on the tree line. He's down 3 for 0 in favor of VG Gaming. The level 1 Roshan getting scouted out is still in half-life, and C9 are already moving off their lanes. This was a catastrophe.
The battle begins.
So this is why Envy should have listened to me and not gone for the level 1. Let's actually look at, it's not just the first blood, it's not just the 3 kills, it's the fact that they have horrible starting items. Eternal Envy on the top lane has, what, a Ring of Basilius, no stats, no real stats that he needs. Shadow Shaman has wasted that self and still died. He's got Shackle level 1, not exactly the best laning spell. Meanwhile, Brewmaster, well, it's not too bad for him, but he's definitely not rushing for the quick bottle. The trouble is beginning for Cloud9.
Okay, obviously not great giving 3 kills away, but at the same time, I still feel like C9's draft here is a little bit more, well, stable as far as coming into this mid game. Mainly because I'm feeling so much pushing power coming out from their lineup that I don't think VG Gaming can repel. You're right, he went Shackle's first level, not the greatest thing in the world, but when he gets the Shackle out, the vision has to come from Fenrir, and Envy will just try and force super off this lane. They'll have to burn through a couple of these consumables though, and that's actually going to leave Envy completely bone dry. But yeah, the way C9 goes, because remember, they're still running a dedicated jungler. You still got Aoi 2000, he's inside the jungle, he's going to get these nice quick levels over on the Enigma. You got Bone 7 off lane going up against ROTK. Now, Venomancer versus Nature's Prophet, always a fun, interesting lane to watch, especially when you went Gale first level Venomancer. So all he's got is basically the slow and poison sting. No early wards coming out, which means Bone 7's got technically a slight advantage if he can get to the phase boots in enough time. And then you got Sing Sing in middle lane, sure he needs bottle, Morphling rush to Wraith Band, so his bottle's going to be a little bit more delayed than before. So they still, I think, a lot going for him here, C9. Oh, this happens on top lane. Fisher, all he can do is shock and die.
I think Vici Gaming is adjusting to this early game very well. They're saying, you know what? You got Enigma in the jungle, you're playing passive, you're playing greedy. Even though it's not exactly the most standard thing, we're going to go offensive trialing with Lich. Normally Lich, you want to sit back and be defensive and you keep sacrificing creeps and whatnot, but at the end of the day, he still has a very intense nuke, especially when he took it level 1 engagement. So now Cloud9's now behind 4 kills. Envy's not really hitting many creeps. In fact, he's one of the lower farmer as a core. And really, I'm not exactly sure where Cloud9's going to make their mid-game strike. I think if you're Cloud9 at this point in the game, just keep standing there and just, like, the storm's going to come at you, right? You just keep taking it, and hopefully you're going to find a safe haven and strike back, but...
Oh, FY. he's being a nuisance to Aoi. He just stole one of the big centaurs from him. Aoi was in range, so...
top lane, Fissure.
Yeah, Envy's on the other side of it, though. And with boots as well as Ring, he can easily turn a little bit in there into Fenrir. While on bottom lane, ROTK, this is a nice little rotation coming out from C9. So they push Pylai down to this bottom lane to go up against the Venomancer with Bone 7. I'm not 100% sure what they're trying to achieve from this, however. Like, if it was harassment to maybe get a kill on the Veno, that would be fine. But I don't see him helping the lane to be won.
Yeah, Veno's actually fairly tanky at this point with the boots as well as a ton of armor on him. So, well, Cloud9 is maybe it's going to be up to Bone 7 again to set up some kills, because Prophet is one of those heroes early on could make the kills that really can happen. So we'll see if he's going to be teleporting in, or maybe he's going to just rush for the straight, you know, standard Prophet stuff.
Aoi's life just got really hard. Fenrir came up and put two wards inside the jungle.
Again, if that level 1 fight had not happened, these kind of gold would not occur, and you cannot really ward off the enemy jungle like this.
It's a hilarious thing too. You actually look at who got the kills from it. There was 2 on Earthshaker,
Radiant's middle
one over
tower
on the
is
Lich,
under
and now
attack.
one on the Venomancer. Obviously, the Earthshaker one got to come a little bit later, which was the Shadow Shaman, which is where his second one came in. But you really don't have, apart from like, well, RTK as their core, getting any kind of kills. Okay, he's out here on the bottom lane, so you know he's going to get farm anyway.
I think unless you're rushing for Midas, I'm personally more inclined to have my kills on supports. To get their boots earlier, to get them a little bit more active, the fact that they could de-ward, for example, or ward off the enemy camp, for example, I think those are the more bigger plays. Yeah, it's always nice to have more gold on your carry, but your carries are dedicated farmer, and they're going to get the gold regardless. That's how I see it, but obviously it comes down to personal preference. I think the fact that Fenrir was able to pick up boots first has really allowed them to set up that extra kill on the top lane as well. And right now, you can see that Vici Gaming is playing it very passively as the draft is dictating them too, but they have the lead. They can play passively. They don't need to do anything. Mid lane.
Yep, having Craig and Sing Sing with a Frost Blast, but Sing Sing is very tanky. So it's just ended up being a little bit of a waste of abilities, and it's kind of exposed Super a little bit more on this top lane. At the same time, Super is 18-10 up against a 9-for-4 Eternal Envy. This is not the start Luna was searching for. He won't have high arms, he won't have Ring of Aquila, ready for the time when now he's ready to push with level 3 conversions, but now he's actually lost 3 of his camps in his jungle. This Observer Ward is even blocking the pull point here. This is really problematic for Cloud9. They have got to turn this, and they've got to turn it quick, or else this game's over. Fenrir, Vici top lane, he gets on Eternal Envy with the Plasma Field, Super, not enough damage to finish the job.
Yeah, a little bit of miscue coming out from Vici Gaming. They needed FY to get in range with a Frost Blast, and then they would have easily gotten that kill. So Cloud9, I think their comeback will begin once we start getting the level 6s. Highlight is going to be after key, and he's going to get backstep. Highlight running into the trees, and he's not getting there.
The rock wall came up, couldn't get himself in. And that means he's backed up. Whereas the upside is Eternal Envy didn't go down. But this gives now a 5-0 advantage in favor of Vici Gaming. And RTK, he's just having the time of his life. He's got 4 points up in his Plague Wars now.
Looking for a backstab on RTK. TP happening on the bottom, and trees are being made. It's a line of trees. Can he actually make it there? The Wrath Nature is going to hit. They're shackling him up, but RTK says, man, I'm going to try to tank as much as I can. Highlight die, though. He's dropping precariously low. Finally, Cloud9 gets on board.
Yeah, he came underneath 5 level 4 Plague Wards on that bottom lane. He knew he was going to take damage for that one, but a very smart play by Cloud9. They realized with the proper TPing in behind, he can make an opening. In the meantime, Envy, more fidgets for him on the top lane. No, but they came for the perfect pincer. And now Pylai Die, he's actually giving him the space. So Bone 7 takes the ancient area, and this will try and push level 6 out of Pylai Die. And then C9 can do what their lineup was meant to do, and that's push down towers. Aoi, he's moved down to the Radiant jungle because obviously his is useless. So he'll push out the T1 tower on the bottom lane with the Mass Serpent Ward, and then lay stake to the Vici Gaming jungle.
Yeah, I really like the fact that Cloud9's dedicating more to their supports in their core. We saw that last game, it was Aoi getting much of the safe lane, as it was Eternal Envy that was jungling for the most part. Same thing here. Highlight Ice level 6, like you pointed out, is the key.
RTK, is he going to give this one a shot? Malphite, Aoi's just getting out of here.
Yeah.
He's not taking anything for granted. And RTK, well, he's still be careful. These conversions pump out a lot of damage, even if you do have yourself a ring. There's going to be way too much for him to deal with. He's actually losing his Plague Wars to the army of conversion, even cancelling the clarity.
Nice micro.
Yep.
Yeah.
Caught out Fender on the way down, but it does reveal the fact there is an Observer Ward watching him.
Looks like they're thinking about setting up a gank up top. Somebody pinged the Razor. Looks like, are they going to make it go? There's proper TP if they're going to go for
He's
it.
too far back. Now he's in the right position. They can go for a Sprout.
Never mind. Very dangerous TP right next to the T1, where the Earthshaker come in and just essentially wreck your 2-man lineup.
But with the Wrath of Nature, you'd have a lot of bonus damage to get that initial kill. That's how they got him down the bottom lane. RTK was quite tanky for him, considering all things.
Yeah, I think if you're a Cloud9 fan, the safe haven and the lucky thing to look at is the fact that the experience graph is quite even. And that's saying a lot since you have, you know, a 5-1 lead for Vici Gaming. It's really the Prophet as well as AI 2000 being able to pick up a lot of this experience in the jungle, whereas Vici Gaming, they're spending a lot of their supports rotating around, so the experience growth has really halted. Cloud9 is playing the long game again.
Yes, and they know they can win at that one. He's in a little bit of trouble in the top lane. Getting a lot of damage soaked out of him as the phase boost is allowing Super to keep up with it. He's going a long way under here. One attack may almost be enough with the volatile charge from Envy. Now Malum has done Owie. Does he commit the black hole for this one? Super's on the run. One elusive beam from Envy in the tree line. Super's down. Shadow Shaman with a shot gets the kill. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Sing Sing and Sylar battling underneath the tier 1 tower. But he'll be fine for now. It's that bottom lane which has a lot of pressure also coming from Vici Gaming. They're going to see if they can take this tier 1 tower up against the defense of Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet's going to make some trees. He's going to try to drag him back. And maybe RTK is zoning him out. In fact, he says, you know what? Forget it. Let's go for tower trade. And if Cloud9 could get this tower without using Mass Server more, they could go for tier 2. But looks like they're going to come in and maybe defend their own tier 2. They see Sing Sing coming around on the bottom lane, so Sing Sing's got to be careful. He has mono for split.
But he can't do clamp and split though. This is the problem for him, so he just goes straight for the split. He wants FY. FY is going the tree line. RTK sees the instant. RTK up. Owie took a black hole. And he's got to actually wait for the Venomance to drop. He's still spinning up and then back in the black hole. Most that duration was actually wasted. Has to move back for the Plague Wars too. And RTK Owie. There's one more board. He's down denial. Sing Sing knew it was there. He just waited it out a little bit longer. And that's also the downside about using Gale, having those dot damages.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication coming up from the Cloud9 players. Sing Sing needed to dispel that Cyclone with this Storm.
Under attack.
And it didn't really matter because he was disabled essentially, but would have did that extra like 10-20 damage that Black Hole provides. Was close. Was close.
T1 Tower now is played by Vici Gaming. With all that movement to the bottom lane, it still becomes like 2 tier 1 towers down in favor of Vici Gaming. Should also be very, very concerned when I see Envy walking back at that very, very low life. But Bone 7, man, he's now inside the Radiant jungle. If Enigma couldn't be there before, he'll be there now.
Yeah.
There's Vici Gaming who are the ones that are taking more towers. They're actually pushing into the tier 1 towers in mid lane, using Plague Wars to slow the creep wave out. So their next one can come underneath the tier 1 tower. This allows more Plague Wars from RTK just to focus down the tier 1. And C9 are not ready to fight. With no black hole, with no Mass Server Wall, they're not in a position to try and force a team fight. So they have to keep the split push game going and not lose too much map control.
Yeah, I think the big thing to point out is that Vici Gaming, not only are they up 5,000 gold, and they're about to push a tier 2. Look at the gold disparity on the carries. Sylar's got 82 CS, Luna's got 22. Eternal Enemy is behind 60 creep kills in 10 minutes. That is absolutely crazy. So,
Sing Sing's looking at that middle lane. He's looking to catch up any kind of damage on a Fenrir. With the Cloud, the Hex, the Lich Train Force going up to Sing Sing. It doesn't bounce again, but Pylai die. He'll go out. Super Wars is front line. Sing Sing needs one more attack. There it is for Super. Malum Stun's going to kill him off. He'll die underneath the tower with the Mass Server Wars. While now Eternal Envy turns on the Eclipse. He was right next to Curry. He's pinging the fact that RTK is inside the tree line. But RTK, he's got mech as well. He's got enough life points to survive this one. Or does he? Where is that mech touch? It's holding on to it. Turns for the Gale Envy. It's going to slow him down, but it's only a level 1 point in it. So there's no damage coming out. Now he turns. Malum Stun. No mana for elusive beam. The Fisher! It kills off Eternal Envy. Fenrir arrives at the right time. There's still an army of convergence in the middle lane, so Vici Gaming cannot pursue Owie 2000 here.
Great play from RTK. He kept layering the wards such that Envy could not have bottled up. I mean, he had 2 bottle charges, I believe, at the start of that fight, and wasn't able to actually regen and not able to get those beams out. That was a big part of Envy's damage. So Envy, he got a couple kills there, traded his life away, but I think it's still a trade that he wants because most of the gold was reliable on him, and he was able to pick up a ton of items. But the problem still remains for Cloud9 is Sylar is getting completely out of control. Sure, there is eventually a Blink Dagger on Shadow Shaman such that he can get the Blink X off, but I think well beyond that, I think Lincoln Sphere will come out before Pylai even has a crack on that dagger.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. But at the same time, I'm not seeing the Morphling as the primary focus at this point. They've got to be out of control up our OTK. He's going to do more and more damage across the board. It's the same thing with the Lazy.
MB, he might be dead.
Yeah, they're going to jump him. Fissure, Frost Blast, Waveform, and then one last attack coming in from Tyler. That'll get a quick and easy kill. While Sing Sing, he's looking towards RTK on the bottom lane, blinks out, gets the clamp. He might, well, actually, the split won't work in time. He waited just a little bit too long, so a nice TP out by ROTK. While now rotation from Super towards the top lane. Might be looking for Bone 7. You've also got Enigma inside the jungle, and he's there with the TP scroll, but it's Bone 7 who's picking his shit on. Fissure, Waveform, Plaster Field, Bone 7 gets nuked.
Each and every one of these picks, they just hurt so much, especially when you're so far behind, and the kills are going towards the cores. It's Sylar and Super taking at one now. Sylar's going to go for the very safe item choice. He's going to go for the Lincoln Sphere. This might be one of those games you go straight shotgun and just keep killing stuff, but he doesn't really need to. He's just going to get tanky and push towers with the rest of his team.
C9's getting really cheeky with this kind of stuff. He's making an army of conversions, trying to keep them alive, get a little more of them, and then just try and, backdoor the tier 1 tower, keep them looking behind themselves. Because this creep wave is now gone from Vici. They had 3 heroes in the top lane.
Prophet's teleporting in.
They're going for a backdoor T1.
They can take it.
Oh, maybe not. Teleport out
with the conversions as well as the treants, it was more than enough. Sylar couldn't stop it.
And they forced a TP back from Sylar, so small victories here and there.
Didn't have a replicate to bounce back to the other lanes either, so yeah, a little bit of time being wasted for him. Even these trees just splitting different ways and pulling that dire creep wave deeper into Radiant territory. While the rest of C9 prepare to push on the bottom lane. Mass Open Wards are off cooldown again for Pylai Die. So either we look for more towers, including the tier 1 tower in the middle lane, or Roshan has to be flagged again here for C9. Remember, they do still have that dire side advantage, and they have to see if they can capitalize on that. 7, not where you want to be, man. Sprouts on Sylar, no waveform though. So what's he doing? He doesn't want to attack him. Is this supposed to be like a mercy fleet? I don't attack you, don't attack me. Waveform, Bone 7 step. One last attack, Sylar's got him.
He didn't want to attack us. As soon as he attacked, he would have provided vision to Sylar.
Sing, a little bit of trouble for him in the mid lane. Shame what's going to be used. He'll bounce down, but Sing, I don't think there's going to be enough damage to kill him all. He's a split, Blink Dagger on cooldown. Yep, there goes split. Highlights coming in, and the eclipse from Envy. Maybe Super and FY underestimated this tower of C9. Midnight Pulse of Malamus, there goes FY.
They can go Roche right now. They have Mass Serpent Ward.
Yep.
They're right next to it.
ROTK's in the neighborhood, but yeah, you're right. Roshan's the best target for him. Sylar's still going to be farming up that top lane. Doesn't want to come and fight this one. Fenrir may rotate over, but what's he really going to do? Profit. They're looking for the pick off with RTK in the river. Lucifer to start with RTK. So going to tank over. He summons the squeeze in time. RTK throws the ulti out. They need to get the kill on him, and they got it. There's more support coming in. It's Fenrir. He's got Echo Slam and Fissure. Throws the Fissure out. Remember, there's no online fear, but the Mech Charge will go, and Envy just fails. So does Bone 7. Pylai Die. He's coming up towards the high ground, but he will back up as well.
Even though they got a kill on the ROTK, I think that was a trade that Vici Gaming would have liked more, right? You'd rather give a kill on Venomancer didn't have the enemy to get to Roshan. So even though it was a kill for Cloud9, I think Cloud9 actually got the worst trade.
With the 3 kills that are there, they can go for Roshan at any point. But I suppose you're right in a way. Sure, you don't give away the Aegis, the Immortal. That's a great thing.
I think the burst of gold, and more importantly, the burst of experience is what really Cloud9 needs. So
Envy.
getting the Roshan is really the big price.
Envy is dead. It's just literally that simple. He's going to get Frost Blast. He's going to get now. In fact, Eye of the Storm being committed as well. That's some heavy commitment there from Vici Gaming, and they're going to force us into the tower now.
Will they though? Look at Sing Sing. I mean, he's pushing the left side of the map again.
Yeah, he's up there at the tier 2 tower.
So where's the creeps?
After they've lose this one, they got nothing left.
Structures are fortified.
But the creep wave was already here, so they've got to keep the attack going, but they have to just tag out the damage here.
Dire's
And it looks like
top
Sylar's going to
tower
be
is
the main
under
man to do it. They'll still take the
Radiant's
tower, it
bottom
just takes
tower
a
is
little
under
bit more
attack.
time to do so.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And there it is. Sylar will now TP back. Still wants to commit to the bottom lane. And Sylar, the man of the defense, Lincoln Sphere getting triggered by that Rat Aegis, so he doesn't have to take the damage from it. The Mass Serpent Wards are trying to focus him down, and the rest of C9 are nowhere near him. So he'll farm up all the Mass Serpent Wards, and that's also going to be a little bit of damage to the tier 2 tower on the bot lane.
We are getting to a point where Vici Gaming is gaining more and more map control such that they can even take the Roshan at one point. So the fact that Cloud9 had that Roshan advantage, could not have taken it, might actually come back and bite them, because Mass Serpent Ward does have a fairly long cooldown, sitting at 110 all levels, down to about a minute soon now for him. I like to see that Cloud9 just make a play around the pit.
Well, they might have to to give it a shot, but get rid of all this warding first. They got some nice wards of their own, but there's that observe ward in middle lane that's watching their movements perfectly. And do we have anything even resembling money for a gem? Doesn't look like it, not even a sentry ward to boot for all of C9.
Yeah, they're just so poor. Again, I have to compare the farm rate of Sylar and Eternal Envy. Sylar sitting at 150, Envy sitting at 47. What was a 60 creep lead is now 100. I mean, how do you expect Envy to do anything in this game for his team?
You can't expect him to do anything, not until he has the security of Aegis the Immortal. Pilot is coming down here. I don't know if this is meant for like a courier snipe or something.
I think they're looking for a backstab on Sylar or Super up top.
They can get it.
It's got Eclipse.
Yeah, they've got it. They should have this.
They need a TP.
Here comes the Prophet. Highlights moving up the lane as well. There's just Sprout, and the Eclipse will go. They need the Hex before doing a TP out. There it is from Pilot Eye. 46 seconds on the sideline. Now moving RTK as well as Sylar towards the top lane to try and deal with this, but RTK, he's all the way up in the river. The pings are coming out, it's not from the Dire side. And there's a smoke movement, in fact. C9 will 4-man smoke out here. And maybe they can find themselves an opening to get either a kill or they think about Roshan again. And this is Vici Gaming without a Razor. Sylar getting spotted out by the army of conversions. And now go RTK in the middle lane. The bottom lane might be there, but it's going to be all on them RTK. You'll have to trigger off the mech here. No more losing either with the Shackles and the Hexes. They get another call of Vici Gaming on the sidelines. While Sylar again TP's in, double damage runes there. And the rest of C9 are just backing up because they are still coded in the Venomancer Ultimate.
Bone 7 was having a tree and chasing a courier around, and he was thinking about teleporting in to get the courier kill, but looks like he decided against it. And then, again, I think it's fine for Vici to lose a Veno to counter Roshan. I'm not so sure about that.
Is this going to be like second time round, like RTK keeps sacrificing yourself in the mid lane saying, hey, look over here, will you please kill me?
Well, I'm sure it's not an intended play, because you'd never want to purposely lose a hero, but that's kind of how it worked out.
Especially when he keeps slowing up his Aghanim Scepter, it's not really a great thing for him. The Courier, Bone 7, he's going to snipe it out right now. The Courier, where's it moving?
Oh.
It's moving over the tree line now. Bone 7, one attack.
Sprout
it! Do something! The Sprout's too late. The Courier is away. He had an observe ward, but I think Bone 7 wasn't really intending to find a Courier there.
I think what he expected was the Courier just to fly straight back to base, and his hero would have stood and killed it, but
he didn't even move. there was literally no movement. Sylar up on this top lane, he's going to TP himself out in time. While RTK is now to say, all right, yeah, I'll bring the gem over here and we'll get rid of that ward. So Vici Gaming are going to try and establish map control with that gem purchase over on the Veno. It'll be a dangerous thing though if they lose it.
So the main ganking tool against the Morphling at this point is using your Wrath of Nature, having it activate the Lincolns, and then teleport yourself in as Prophet and use that Orchid to silence. It's a lot to ask for, but you also need a teammate or two to actually deal the damage. I think Envy still has the highest amount of damage on the team, but so far Sylar is able to go wherever he wants, whichever part of the map he wants, and farm as much as he wants. So Sylar's farm will not be stopped, sitting at 188 creep kills now to Envy's 60. 120 lead. That's going to be the sad thing in the whole game. How much is Sylar leading by? Because right now he's not doing much, but once he picks up the Ethereal Blade, say goodbye to Paladai, say goodbye to Aoi, say goodbye to Bone 7 even. Bone 7 sitting at 830 health.
There's just no way to survive through all of this. Maybe that BKB that's on the way for Aoi 2000 might be enough, but at the same time, Super just finished his own BKB 21 minutes in on the Razor. So he's looking very, very strong, pushing the bottom lane. And they have a lot of heroes coming to that bottom lane too. What's coming up the Courier? That's the BKB finally on its way. So they'll take out the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. Highlight Eye, unless he wants to commit his massive more to try and defend this, which I highly, highly doubt it. Because Vici Gaming, they're just so strong in their team fight.
Looks like we're going to have a Courier pickoff. Bone? Bone make trees.
He makes trees. Vici for it. He got a trees.
Radiant's courier has been
got the
killed.
Courier this time. Not caught napping.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This is why you always drop these deep wards in enemy jungle, because it gets you free Courier kills, but
Dire's
meanwhile the
bottom
bigger
tower
picture is that Vici is taking more and more towers. All 6 outer towers are gone, meanwhile Vici holds to 4 of their own. And that's really why they're holding on to a 5,000 building. They should have a bigger lead, to be honest, but
yeah,
right now Cloud9 is split pushing very well. Can they split push their way back into a contention though?
I wouldn't back. I wouldn't. I think they can. I think they can, especially when Envy has this kind of
kill is
moment on the
huge.
top lane.
If you
They've
could kill
got
him-
to get the kill though. Aoi 2000, he's going to have to commit the black hole to
need
ensure
Wrath.
this kill. And now, well, Malifus, he's looking for the full eclipse. Maybe he's going to let it go. He doesn't let it go.
They really need Raft first to break the Lincolns and then drop all of the other spells.
Bottom lane, Bone 7. Fisher, Fenrir waits it out. Now Orchid, they got no stun. The Lich ultimate is there, but he doesn't get it off in time. That would be the only thing that would have stopped that TP out from Bone 7.
Bone 7 is surviving, but every time I see him over the map, he's just using teleport scrolls, which is starting to cost quite a bit of money.
At the same time, as long as he doesn't die, it's
Yeah,
kind of
that will save you more money.
It's okay. It's keeping Vici gaming back. It's allowing Luna to recover. It's allowing Brewmaster, like Sing Sing, we haven't even seen him do anything. When was the last time we saw a Brew split? He's level 13. He's walking around with a blink the Vlads as well as the Treads. They've still got the Roshan advantage, of course, being on the Dire side.
The air quote Roshan advantage, which they cannot take advantage of.
Yes.
I mean,
until Bone 7 is able to make him look behind him too much. And maybe that can happen. He's up to 1,600 gold. You get a Maelstrom on this guy, he can push really, really quickly. Maybe even in this game, a Desolator may be a nice choice.
maybe he'll get a blink to avoid the ganks. It depends on how he wants to take that fight. There is that Ethereal Blade.
VG Gaming, they're going to go in for this. They see Pilot, yeah, they do. And they got him. You know, E-Blade, he'll go down the Plasma Field.
That could be Roche.
Does he have buyback available? The answer is yes. But he's got nothing to TP out to. He's got tier 3 towers, and that's it. But the rest of C9, they're going to let Roshan go. Out and Envy are coming top lane, and they're going to try and force the tier 2 tower. There is, however,
Radiant's
fortification for
top
VG
tower
Gaming.
is under attack.
So this is going to make life just a little bit more difficult for C9.
It's really hard for a single hero to TP into this because Black Hole is there waiting with Eclipse. But let's see if there's a clip.
Radiant's
Seems like
structures
VG Gaming is
are
at least thinking about
fortified.
the
Roshan has
Well, there's your
fallen
first
to the
TP.
ground.
RTK is on the way back in.
Radiant's
Morphling's the
top
one on the front
tower is
lines.
under
The
attack.
tower, very low on life. The rest of it comes to the Brewmaster takes away as
Radiant's
Morphling will
top
deny
tower
that tier
has
1
been
tower on the top
denied.
tier 2 tower on the top lane.
Cloud9 needs every bit of gold they can get their hands on, and that deny hurts so much. MV finally up to 2,200 gold. I think BKB has to be the item of choice to just stay alive. But again, you run into the issue of where's the damage. So we'll see. Cloud9, I mean, we're at a very interesting game state such that both teams want to extend the game. Cloud9 wants to extend it because they have to. And Vici has the much bigger lead and they have the better
Fenrir is about to kill Bone 7. Oh, he's TPing out at the last moment.
Yeah.
And Bone 7, I don't know if you get to see that animation of the totem stomp.
Right now, Vici's going for the kill. They have the Aegis advantage. Let's go.
They can give it a shot, man, but it's still dangerous coming high ground up against a Black Hole Brewmaster split.
Dire's
and the
middle
Serpent
tower
Wards.
is
Yeah,
under
and the
attack.
Mass Open Wards. Everything is up for C9, so they just triggered the Lincoln Spear to start with over on Sylar. You still got proper pushing at the bottom lane, but this will only last for so long. The E-Blade's also been popped already over on the Luna, and Envy's actually healing. They've got no defense still. There's no glyph coming out. There's a movement coming from Sing Sing, but at the same time, these Plague Wars from RTK are perfectly positioned. He
middle
can't blink
tower
himself
has
in and
fallen.
put it on cooldown, and Sing Sing, I don't think he's even get ready to go. He has split. Fenrir went for the stop, and now the aggro just done. Out to the Earth Ruling Super. Well, Envy is turning the heat with the Eclipse Super. That BKB is protecting him. One more attack. RTK goes down.
Black Hole!
Black Hole from Howie with the Mass Surplus to the Fisher. Howie stunned up. He'll go down. There's your attack. Fenrir to go down. A spot tackles on Pylon. Or Pylon die. FY is in range of the E-Blade. Trying to protect him there from Sylar. Bone 7 on the run. It's a 3-for-2 trade-off. And Sing Sing looking for one last clap. He's got 3 seconds on cooldown for it. And now being stabbed and strike. That damage taken away. Super looking for the kill. Sing Sing just claps the air. He can't reach the hero.
Radiant's
And
bottom
Envy's down too
tower
far.
Envy needs to run. He needs to run. The shotgun's cooling down right now. The Serpent Wards is going to provide a little bit of assistance, and it looks like Cloud9 will stay alive, but I think these two heroes could just walk up and start hitting the base, and I think, in fact, they will do that.
They're backing up. They did lose that tier 2 tower in the bottom lane during that, so the creep wave of C9 was able to take that advantage.
Dire's
So they
middle
still don't have the
barracks
extra
are under
support.
attack.
It was a, well, I mean, the Morphling's backing up, but he's going to duplicate it. Envy can't actually walk up to it.
He's got enough line points to tank the shotgun blast. And Pilot I can just actually get rid of it anyway.
Did a ton of damage to that range Rex. Cloud9 is barely hanging on this point. That last team fight was 5 kills for 3 with a buyback on top, and they lost a tier 3. And the 2 kills they got was, the 3 kills they got was on the 3 least important heroes. Sylar still has his Aegis, by the way. And he's up to yet another item almost.
And that Aghanim 7's only 25 gold away. And with that up and running, you won't be seeing those Raxes surviving in the middle lane. He'll just go high ground, turn on the Eye of the Storm, and all of a sudden it's gone. Eternal Envy, what's he really going to do against this? He's trying to build into a BKB. But again, we ask ourselves the question, where is the damage from C9?
Yeah, we saw Black Hole with the Mass Serpent Ward Trap essentially on top. But that wasn't enough. They needed Eclipse to hit essentially on both the cores, burst them down instantaneously almost. And there's just not enough damage in all of Cloud9 to do that. I think Cloud9 really has to dig deep and do what they always do so well, which is split push, but they just don't have the time. Here comes Sylar, here comes Vici Gaming.
Yep.
This could be the Rax.
And
this could be the dream where it's over for Cloud9 and going home with 650,000, but they want more.
Well, let's see if they can take it, man. Vici Gaming, up they come. There's your Eye of the Storm, and that range Rax just evaporates. The fortifications will protect him for the moment. Highlight Eye, he's got to commit his Mass Serpent right now. Sing jumps in for the clap. He gets the split off. E-Blade, he doesn't get the split off! Oh, this is troublesome. The buyback has to come out too. The melee Rax still alive for the moment. As the rest of VG Gaming just fall back a little bit further. They still have Aegis. Eye of the Storm cooled down 36 seconds, but it's actually still active. And they push up into the high ground. Owie, 26 seconds on his Black Hole. Midnight Pulse is not enough to stop this. They have to let the mid-ranks go. If VG Gaming overcommit here, then they might just make an opening. But maybe, okay, they force it. Brewmaster's already jumped on. He's throwing the Venomenter up towards the end. Massive pulled it down as well as the Eclipse, but Luna died so quickly. And now Brewmaster, he's running out of Brewlings. He's sending more up in the air, taking out that Morphling. The Gale over towards Owie. Still 2 seconds on his Black Hole, but Fenrir cancels his movement. Same with the Lich Ultimate. Enigma's on the sidelines of VG Gaming. They're trying to actually fight around C9 from that Serpent Wards. Nice shot from Pylite Eye with Venomenter Ultimate. He's dead. There's not much fight left here for C9. Bone 7 and Sing Sing up on the high ground. A blink to clap will not be enough. Remember, they can move themselves down the bottom lane because the mid-ranks is down, and of course the Brickwave came in through that, so no backdoor protection here. And they go again for the Aghanim Eye of the Storm. VG Gaming, it looks like they're on the winner's path right now.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
There goes your bottom ranks completely. And they're coming over even further. That Morphling Replica is just staring down Bone 7. 2 Raxes in favor here of VG Gaming.
Radiant's bottom
Vici
tower
Gaming
is
looks
under
unstoppable
attack.
at this point. Maybe we're going to see a play from Bone 7 to start to rat bottom. It looks like they're going to go back. Vici Gaming is going for the slow and the death by 1,000 cut. They're bleeding Cloud9 now.
Yeah, there's just no risk over. They know Black Hole's at least up. The entire team for C9 is also alive. Sure, there's no Brewmaster split, but you give it the respect it deserves. You're here in game number 3. If you lose this, you're out of the International 4. It's that simple. You do not take a risk when there's that much on the line.
There's a smoke on Cloud9. I'm not sure if they're going to try to make a play off this. Maybe they're going to try to force up as much ground on the lanes and try to go for rat. Trying to rat against 2 big lanes of creeps is so hard. What are they going for exactly, Cloud9?
This has to be a gank in the Radiant jungle. That's the only thing.
But I mean, they're not smoking up. Maybe they're trying to go for the Roche, but it's not going to be back for anytime soon.
It's not even at the spawn, the potential spawn.
They're just walking out to farm.
A 5-man movement to make sure Envy can finish a BKB.
I almost felt like this game was just gambled at the Roshan pit. And Cloud9 lost the gamble.
But they've worked hard to try and drag it back again, but obviously VG Gaming was such a huge start with C9 not winning their lanes. The Luna lane was probably the most crippled one of all.
Right.
Like, Luna got little to nothing on that top lane, and an underfarmed Luna just dies really quickly during the engagements, and we saw it in the middle lane.
Is coming in against Bone 7. He needs to blink out. Oh, he blinked the wrong way!
Oh, wow. That's a huge kill. That's exactly the same time as C9 was coming out to try and find a kill. They needed his rat to nature.
I think you're starting to see the players crack.
That's a replicant right there. That's not the real that's not the real Razor. RTK, there goes your Eclipse. Morphling as she arrives at the engagement. Shackles and Wartrap over on Fenrir. This is actually a really good fight so far for at least Cloud9 until in comes the Storm. The Eye of the Storm from Razor in the middle of the engagement. Everything's just splitting itself up a little bit further. C9 Sing Sing able to blink himself up the river.
He has no TP, he needs to keep running. Sylar's not going to give chase. Great fight in the sense that they traded 2 for nothing, but they did commit the Mass Serpent War Trap. They still have Black Hole available though.
Yes, they do. Massive Morts for that is perfect. Like, they got ROTK, they got the Earthshaker down. We still actually kind of have to remember too, there's a lot of weight on the shoulders here of both Sylar as well as Super, because you are still technically running a Venomancer. It's not a core, it's not a great damage dealing hero. Normally it's the items and his utility that makes him work so well, but he's got Aghanim's Blink Dagger as well as Mech. He is in a role which you could basically say is a support role right now.
I think the Lich is starting to be more of a core. Look at his item aggression. He's got an Orchids. He is hitting sort of fast. He's going to give the key silence. Also, we got to keep in mind that Black Bolt will really never get like a 3 or 4 second fight lane.
Mode 7's in trouble.
Yep, he's dead.
And look at the Orchid, the first one ever on Lich, helps to get him a kill over on the Nature's Prophet on the bottom lane. And with Prophet down again, being picked off the lane, shotgun bang. There once was a player called Envy.
That was not even on agility treads. Didn't need an extra agility. I mean, there's no buyback on Envy.
No. This is a big, big window of opportunity. This is top racks. It really should be top racks. If they can find also the jungling heroes of C9 inside their own jungle, they got more. Look at Sylar. He's inside the middle lane right now. He wants to just take the top racks, but he needs the creep wave to enter. The backdoor regeneration will protect it, or actually will it? Now the creep wave's on the bottom too. Yep, no backdoor protection. They have to use fortification. 25 seconds. How much damage can Vici Gaming dish out right now? There goes the tier 3 tower. They focus on the racks as well. Eye of the Storm is 2 seconds off cooldown, but here comes 6 as well. Twilight. One jump in, goes for the instant split. Fenrir, he'll get stunned up. Super set up in towards the end. We're going to morph the replica, killing off the range ranks. The only ranks that still exist right now, while ROTK dying in the mid lane. Bone 7 trying to TP himself out. There's so much poison on him. He's going to stop making the main throw. He's trying to make jump at the top lane. It's the Brewmaster who's going to go down. Envy, BKB, he doesn't have Eclipse. He TP'd in 3 seconds. GG! Cloud9 say no more. Cloud9 say no more. Vici Gaming will advance over Cloud9. They're going to the lower bracket first final here of the International Ball. And China is definitely ready to breathe in this competition.
Definitely a lot of emotion for both these teams. Vici Gaming was seed number 1.
Then they won. They came